We haven't met as a team yet, like to watch film yet, but from what I've seen, just small things like technique and tackling and making sure we're all just doing our job, make sure we're doing what we're asked to do.
Pass rush hasn't. You were making second last game, but pass rush hasn't got there as often as you all did in the first few games. What I guess would be the discussions among the defensive line room that you all want to do to kind of get that kind of going?
To help with the pass rush, I feel like uh, sacks come in bunches. I feel like that's just something we just got to keep on working at. Just keep on doing what we like do. Get off, working our hands, and you know, I got faith that like the sacks will come. For the group.
Now that you're in a bigger role, how do you adapt? Obviously, you started before you played a lot of football, but does anything change for you, your approach, now that your role is changing with John on injured reserve?
No. I feel like my mindset and approach to the games haven't changed whether I'm starting or not. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're starting or whether you're not, you need to watch the same amount of film. You need to prepare the same amount whether if you're playing or not.
You've gone through obviously about 5-6 games now. To systems that you've been a part of to now, how do you describe the fit for yourself? What you've noticed that's different for you?
The fit for myself, I feel like I never. Well, I feel like since high school I've been a part of like a lot of different schemes. I always try to do the best that I can to make sure I'm doing the best that I can do or just do the best. How do I say it? Just making sure whatever I'm being asked to do, I always try to do like that job to the best of my, capability. Or just I always try to do that job as best as I can. So the scheme doesn't really matter.
This week, like Derrick Henry, just your thoughts on trying to contain a back like him. It's been, had the accomplishments he's had the success he's been having this year as well.
To try to stop a guy like Derrick Henry or just any good back, like I said earlier, just making sure we're in our own gap, doing our own job, making sure we do a good job of tackling this week.
When it comes to stopping the run, Love Simpson was talking about gaps being there. For you personally, what's kind of your role in that, and how to be able to stop the run?
For me, just for what I do most of the time, I line up to the tight end and tackle, just making sure I set the edge and making sure I'm in my gap because the guys behind me are nothing relying on me just for to be in a certain spot. So I just gotta make sure I'm dominating the man lined up in front of me and just making sure I'm in that gap too.
How much communication is there between you and the other linemen, or is it linebackers? What's kind of the conversation in the middle of the game?
There's not too much because I feel like for this defense it's more about playing fast. We get our first call and then we get a check here or there, and then we just gotta make sure our hand and eyes are down for the guys on the D line, but making sure we're still listening to make sure if we get a stun or some other checks.
It's like teams in recent games are attacking you guys any differently at all?
Do I feel like teams are attacking us differently?
Or taking a similar approach like the last few teams at all in trying to go after you guys, whether that is whether you've seen a trend at all among quarterbacks, whether they're getting the ball out quicker or attacking the left side.
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like teams have been playing just regular ball. Whether this last game, I feel like their game plan was like any other offense, and because they're up by a score and they don't need to pass, so they'll just run the ball more than what they were in the first half because they weren't winning by 10 plus. If that makes sense.
Been in the league for 5 years now. With this, how much have you learned about yourself through this team and this opportunity? And even if it's not exactly football related?
How much have I learned about myself over like the years of?
Or even your opportunity here?
I feel like one of like the biggest things I learned from like the guys I've played with and just definitely being out there and just being around a bunch of different coaches, I feel like this game is more definitely mental than it is physical for like the most part. It's like I feel like for me personally, it's out there. It's not about like the physical part. It's all like mental and like the preparation going into that like the week. I feel like that's kind of like the stuff I've noticed make like the biggest difference for me.
Are there different ways that you've approached that here in Houston?
Not particularly. I feel like like the first couple of years I got in the league, I kind of struggled with like doing like small things like watching film because I didn't really do that in college and high school, and just like making sure I create like the habits I need to put myself in the right position I need to, so I can make the plays that I can't make, and I'm not out there definitely missing my plays. So.
All right. All set. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Like initially, you were just trying to get in it, and then before you got to the ground, you were.
Yeah, it was just a bench route, and I seen cover two. Usually, when we see cover two on those routes, Davis is licking his chops, and before I even came out of my break, he threw the ball, and I seen it. I caught it last minute, and the two dudes they were collapsing on it, so I just tried my best to just catch it. I double clutched it, but I knew it didn't hit the ground.
And first touchdown with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
What was that feeling?
Mm-hmm. It was a good feeling. Like you say, anytime you can touch the end zone is a good feeling. It's been a long time coming, man. I think it was my first touchdown in about 2 years or something like that. It's been a long road, but it definitely felt good.
Did you guys see something leading up to that game that you thought you might be able to expose defensively, using you as a weapon more this week?
Yeah, just having another speed element on the field, I would say. Having somebody else that can go out there and stretch the field other than Brandon. And we all know Nico can do it too. But just trying to throw everybody out there, and just not necessarily confuse them, but just have another threat out there.
What do you think about Davis in the game, and particularly probably how he's played last few weeks?
I thought he played a solid game. Other than that one interception, it happens. It's football, but I thought he played a solid game. I thought he was comfortable. I thought he made all the right reads, and Davis is a gamer. I always say this. Davis, he's a gamer. He's even keeled. He's poised. You can't shake him no matter what. He's always gonna have that same look on his face. I love Davis.
How much do you think you guys can build off of what you did last Sunday moving forward? Because it looked like things were going a little bit better than they have.
Yeah, like you said, things were going well. We made some mistakes, and they got it going offensively, running the ball, steered the momentum. But I think we can definitely build off of it. At the end of the day, we just got to go back to the drawing boards. Like you said, we got to continue to just do what we did well in that game and just try to fix the mistakes.
When Nico exited the game, what was the conversation? Obviously, you have the ability to go inside, outside. What was kind of that conversation there?
He told me he's like my groin, because I thought he needed a blow at first, so I just went in and then I stayed in, and he said it was his groin, and he's like, my bad. I'm like, brother, you ain't got to say my bad. It's all good. Just next man up mentality. It's been the part of my career my whole life. You got to be ready. You got to be ready to play X, Z, and F, and I'm always ready.
How beneficial was the bye week for you guys? Because the success you had on third downs in that Raiders game, just some of the concepts you showed offensively, there seemed to be an adjustment there. Was that something maybe that you guys game planned more against the Raiders, or did something click offensively for you guys during that bye week?
Yeah, we just worked on third down conversions. We all know that was the biggest part. That was what was missing. We've been horrible on third down, and there's no secret to that. So at the end of the day, the only way to get better at it is just work at it. So obviously we put an extra emphasis on converting third downs this week, and it helped out to some extent, but we still got a long ways to go. and we're gonna go back to practice. We're gonna go back to the drawing boards, and we're gonna try to figure out ways to improve.
How do you? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
How do you work on those third down moments?
Mm-hmm.
How do you simulate?
Just know what basically what coverages that the team will plan plays, and then just work on the plays to try to execute. And the biggest thing about third down is just completing the passes. I mean, we all know you're gonna probably get man coverage, and you probably gonna get some blitz. So it's just offensive line holding up, and Davis finding the right guy in the right read, going to your playmakers, going to your guys that you know that's gonna help you, going to the sure-handed guys. So I mean that's the big emphasis, honestly.
On the offense, when most of the wide receivers, like 3 wide receivers, go mostly third down for you guys. How do you guys approach that? Planning for that, knowing that it's kind of y'all's time to get the ball moving.
You just got to win your matchup. I mean, whoever's across from you. I mean, if it's man coverage, you got to beat them, and if it's zone, you gotta find the right spot in the zone. That's the only thing. You just got to be smarter. You got to play smart football on third down, and that's what we got to just continue to work on.
You talked about how it's been a long time coming since you got that touchdown. What have the last few years been like for you as you try to reestablish yourself? You've bounced around with some different teams. What's been going on with your mentality the last few years?
I mean, I've been good. I mean, it's been tough. It's been tough, honestly, when it comes to, I mean, football is, I'm not going to sit and say it's my life, but, I mean, it's a big part of my life. I love it so much. I've been playing football since I was 6 years old, and to miss a full year and then basically miss another full year being injured, bouncing around a little bit, it takes a toll on anybody, because at the end of the day, it's just like, it's not just plug and play when it comes to football. I mean, being in 3 different cities. I got a wife. My wife was pregnant at the time. I mean, you just gotta try to find your way. And for me, my mentality, I just keep working hard. Don't let nothing phase you. Just keep working. And I'm still here.
What year was that when you said your wife was pregnant?
Last year.
Last year?
Yeah.
With the injury to Nick, obviously he's going to be a big part of the offense. How much does the rest of you guys feel like we need to step up and just do what you guys did Sunday, which is to fill that farm capability?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that it's going to take a collaborative effort. I mean, it's not just one guy that has to step up. We all have to step up. We all know Nico is a big part of this offense, and we gotta continue to just go and try to fill that void. And then I don't feel like not just one person can do it. We all got to do it, because at the end of the day, our record says that we're not very good, and we gotta keep improving, and not just one person, but everybody.
Good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You and Davis have been developing since last year. How do you feel like it is right now? It looks like you guys are playing the same.
I'd say we're just picking up where we left off at. Just more repetition this time, opening up for the tight ends, to run out of seams, and then the flats as well on inside the hashes. So, I think we're connecting pretty well.
For the offense in particular, how is it to see the kind of success that you all had? Because obviously this seemed like it was probably y'all's best offensive game last game.
Hard work, repetition, I feel like we haven't been able to finish. So I feel like this is the best game we had offensively. Putting things together, run game, open up the passing game as well. So I think we're going in the right direction.
2 of those third downs to you, one, it seemed like you kind of got freed up on a little pick, go out on the outside. Then the other, Mills dropped another one to you. I mean, what are you seeing from Mills and just being able to? Because you seem extremely accurate.
Just trusting, trusting us, and we trusted him really. Like I say, repetition, practice. And, just being able to read the defense as well, coverage. He's doing a great job of stepping up in the pocket, and, the timing is timing perfectly. So, like I said, we're moving the chains, and we're looking forward to continuing to do that.
The ball he dropped into you, was that by design, or was that just kind of something that developed at the time? Is that ball supposed to be?
It varies, Depends on the coverage, depends on how loose the coverage is, how tight the coverage is. He can put it back shoulder, he can throw it over the top. It's just really a field route. Like I say, Nico did a great job getting a pick, and, Mills did a great job throwing a catchable ball.
Go into that game through a bye week as well. What things did y'all identify through that you feel like you guys can carry on to the next couple of games?
I just say tempo and timing. Physicality of the offensive line, moving the defensive line. I feel like I said once before. The run game is seeming to be our identity, and it's opened up the passing game as well. And Mills is getting comfortable. We're getting comfortable, and the more repetition we get, the stronger the offense will be.
Kind of funky formation where you're coming out and then come back in. You'll finally run a couple plays out of that.
Yeah, that's true. Defense identification. Just moving around, giving different looks, getting mismatches. That's what it's all about.
I know you probably can't say much about it, but like, how excited was Pep to finally, get to run it?
I mean, we run it every day in practice, so put it on the field. I'm pretty sure he was excited to do that, and get the looks that we needed as an offense.
You talked about. Go ahead. You talked about tempo. Did you feel like there was a significant difference in this Raider game than previously in the previous few weeks? Is that something you were able to kind of figure out in practice during the bye week?
Definitely. We definitely came out with some tempo, some energy. Pushing each other. Competing at practice, and it played over to the game. So when we got to the game, we decided to play. And everyone was expected to make plays. So that's what we did, and we kept moving the chains, and offense looked good.
To be contributing the way you are, to be back here, all of those things, what emotions like for you, to be contributing to a team, to doing some things that seem to really be tailored to your game?
Just coming back is an honor, and to be back with my brothers and compete and to go to war with my soldiers. So, anytime my jersey is called to make a play, I try to do the best I can, whether it's special teams or offense, any way I can contribute.
Jordan, you can be honest with me. You can tell if this is not a real thing. You can be honest, but before that Jaguars game, you all had struggled a lot on third down, and then Nico gets that third down conversion, and then you get that big 3rd and 10 conversion against the Jaguars. Do you feel like those particular plays on that drive kind of helped you all moving forward as you all face the other third downs?
Definitely. It's like a cancer, like I say. Once one player make a play, it's contagious. The other player want to make a play, and so forth down the line. So we hype each other up, and we get each other going. So whatever we can do, whether it's Pierce running the ball, whether it's Cookie making a catch, or anything we can do, tight end setting the block. We're just trying to piece everything together so we can keep going.
It seems like those early downs so much are how y'all are run-oriented, being able to disguise things through you in the game as well. How much do you feel like y'all are forming that now into do you feel like y'all have come into your full form at this point?
I do. I look at myself more as just, more than just a passing tight end. I can block as well, whether it's in the box or outside the box. So I think he's doing a great job creating mismatches and calling the right plays, and plays that Mills is comfortable with and the whole offense is comfortable with, so we can play fast.
More? All set.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jordan.